The Toronto housing market is seeing prices go up, and at the same time, housing inventory is also going up. So, does it make sense to get into a bidding war in the current market? Let's take a look and find out. Hey guys, Fred Tam here with this week's episode of the Toronto Real Estate Market Update. If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. I'm here every single week giving you the best real estate tips and latest market updates. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. And today we're going to be looking at what's been happening since last week. I wanted to start off by sharing something that I recently read about. There's a couple in Toronto with a $1.1 million budget who've been looking to move from their 2-bedroom condo for the last year in hopes to buy a new home. And it's not uncommon to spend that much time looking for a home. Mind you, I don't know what kind of home these guys are looking for or the area they're interested in, but $1.1 million does sound quite high. I mean, we're talking about $1 million here. And if I knew this couple, one thing I would recommend to them is that if they're looking to time the market, now is probably not the best time to do that, which I'll explain more about as well. But now here's an opportunity to share with you some information comparing last year's home prices in Toronto to the prices that we're seeing today, and to really see what this young couple's odds are of finding a home in the current market. And make sure you watch to the very end of this video because I'll be sharing my thoughts on what could help them achieve their goals of buying their next home. Okay, so now let's take a look at current home prices and compare them to last year. At the beginning of the year, we had home prices hit a peak of an average $1.57 million. Prices fell by 73% to an average of $1.15 million. But since then, prices have been going back up much faster than previously anticipated. No one could have guessed that Toronto market prices were going to rebound within just a couple of months. The average home price went up, not quite to the same level we saw earlier this year, but also not too far at an average price of $1.48 million. And last week we saw the average home price come in just under $1.4 million. But here's some information I wish I could share with these buyers. Average home prices are up since last year despite short-term impacts the coronavirus had on the Toronto property market. In 2019, the average home price based on the entire year was just over $1.2 million. So even after the effect of the coronavirus pandemic, which we're still in, home prices are up by about 14% compared to all of last year. And if you watched my video about CMHC Summer Market Outlook, you'll remember that Toronto was one of those Canadian cities that was forecasted to rebound. So what actions would you recommend to these buyers if they've been struggling to find a new home over the last year with a budget of over $1 million while home prices continue to go up in the city? Let me know down in the comment section below, and also let me know what you would do with a budget of $1.1 million. Maybe you would invest somewhere else. Now here's a quick look at Toronto condo prices. Condo prices also peaked at the beginning of the year at $743,000. And just like other single family home types, those prices fell during the pandemic down to an average $624,000. But if you look at where condo prices are going, they're actually not too far off from the peak that we had earlier this year. Last week's average condo price was $710,000, the highest we've seen since spring, and which is also about 12% higher compared to last year. And there's speculation that home prices will fall again in the later half of this year, but based on the level of resilience that Toronto's housing market has proven to have, I don't see Toronto home prices falling much. And if they do, I don't see that lasting very long, especially after seeing how quick buyers and sellers were to get back into the market. And before getting into sales volumes from last week, give this video a thumbs up if you're gaining value and learning something new. Okay, so now here's a quick look into home sales from last week. Sales last week for various freehold single-family home types fluctuated around the same level for the past 2 months. 327 homes sold last week, which is in line with the sales volumes we've been seeing just before spring. And I would have suspected that buyers might be looking into the condo market these days to spend less on a new home, since things like job security and financial stability are potential risks, but condo sales might actually be going down. There were 338 condos that sold last week, down 16% compared to the previous week. We haven't quite reached sales volumes that we saw last year with condos, when there was as many as 525 selling in a single week. And I find this interesting because there's no doubt that people are looking to move right now, and condos are typically known to be the more affordable housing option. And so I thought maybe it was because it has something to do with the inventory available on the market. Was there enough supply in the market to meet buyer demands? The number of single-family homes listed on the market did not see much change compared to the previous week, with 615 homes that hit the market last week. So inventory is high. In fact, it's higher than what we saw before spring, which is a sign that we have a healthy amount of inventory available in the market. And not much has changed with condo listings either. Just over 1,000 condos listed for sale, a slight decrease by 3.5% from the previous week. So why is it that a couple with a $1.1 million budget still can't afford a home in Toronto? We know that home prices look to be a little more balanced right now since prices are stable, and sales of single-family homes have also been balanced for the past few weeks, while housing supply levels are healthy in the sense that there is a sufficient amount of home inventory available on the market, especially compared to just a few months ago. And with condos, prices have actually been going up despite sales potentially showing signs of decline, while condo inventory has also been going up. Okay, so if these buyers are not having any luck in Toronto with the purchase of their new home, while prices and sales are balanced and home inventory is high, what gives? Well, one thing that they mention is that they have yet to put an offer because many properties sell for about $200,000 to $300,000 more than the asking price. Okay, so first, I think that if the properties they like are actually selling for that much more than the list price, creating an unrealistic expectation for buyers as they blindly walk into a bidding war. So the first thing I would recommend to them is to make sure they're doing their due diligence by researching market values of comparable homes in the immediate area so that they're well prepared for negotiations. But now, even after doing that and somehow prices still go through the roof, since prices have in fact been going back up since spring, expanding the search area or adjusting the search criteria can also help increase the odds of buying a new home. The average home in Toronto sold last week in just 13 days at almost 5% over asking price, so there is quite a bit of competition out there right now. And if the budget is somewhere around $1 million, then it's definitely worth considering homes in the low to mid $900,000 range as well. But the market is changing every single week, and you can always stay updated by subscribing to my channel and hit the notification bell as well so you never miss an update. As always, thank you for tuning in and taking the time to stay informed. You can also catch other real estate tips in the playlist I've created, which is linked in the description below and in the card up top. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.